Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and it is time for the November MTB Slam. If you guys have never seen the Mystery Tackle Box, what a Mystery Tackle Box is a subscription-based product. You subscribe to up to a year, and for roughly $13 to $15 a month, you get a box of tackle. And this tackle usually retails for between $20 and $35. I mean, I don't know how high they want to go with this, but anyway. And it's usually pretty good tackle. I've been doing this MTB Slam for quite a while now, and I have yet to find anything that wasn't good quality. They really do test their stuff before they ask a company to join in with them. But anyway, so you get a cool box of tackle every month. And what I've decided to do, you see all those unboxings on YouTube. Well, I decided to step it up a little bit, and I do my unboxings on my boat. I open it up, I see what's in the box, I tie them onto some rods, and I go out and I try to catch a fish on everything in the box. So far I've done it 3 times this year. It's pretty cool. It's a fun, tough challenge. Should be really tough today. We've got 55-degree water temperatures. The water is dry. The temperatures are just tanking, so the bass are in that transition from fall to winter. So it should be kind of a challenge. But anyway, so I guess I can just get started. Let's open up the box and see what happens. Oh, they got some pretty cool new things going on in Mystery Tackle Box this year. They actually just started it. They are, you can go online and they have 2 other options. You can either do an inshore box or an ice fishing box. So the 2 options, basically you can change your subscription midway through it. You know, like at the end of bass season for you guys up north, you're going ice fishing. You can change your subscription to ice fishing, and then when it gets done with ice fishing, you change it back to bass fishing. Same thing with inshore for you guys, you Florida fishermen. Inshore fishing's pretty good right now. You just change to the inshore box and you get inshore tackle. Pretty cool idea, pretty cool deal. So anyway, let me open this up. I already opened it about 20 minutes ago because I goofed up on a video. So let's open it up and see what's in it. All right, so the first thing you see is a Sebile Magic Swimmer. I already know what these are. These are really popular here on my lake in the springtime. This one is a fast sinking, which is great because the bass right now should be pretty deep, 25 to 40 feet deep. It's going to be a tough, slow day of fishing. So we'll see if I can get something on that. It's black and gold. Those things retail for 20 bucks a piece, okay? I'm serious. I buy these in the springtime, and you know, when the bass are schooling on this lake, and these are 20 bucks a pop. So not junk tackle. That is not something you find in the bargain bin. Matter of fact, I went to Cabela's yesterday and looked in the bargain bin. They did have some Sebile crankbaits, but they did not have the Magic Swimmer. So anyway, the next one is the Skinny Bear Shad Eye Swim Bait. Let me dig in here and see if I can find it. I think it's at the bottom. So it's a weighted swim bait. Good color, good size. That's a perfect size. I'm gonna have to tie that on a jig rod, I think. It's got a big old heavy hook on it. Pretty cool. The Skinny Bear Shad Eye Swim Bait. I like the color, I really do. I like how they pour that. The next one is the Rage Bug, or maybe this is known as the Structure Bug from Rage Tail. Okay, this is not a bargain bin box. I'm gonna stop saying that now, but anyway, this is brand new this year. Matter of fact, I did a video about 2 weeks before it came out. I was able to get my hands on some, and I have gone through well over 50 of these before the summer started. Just this spring, I went through over 50 of them. Just flipping brush and things like that. This is an absolutely amazing bait. It's called the Rage Bug or the Structure Bug. Awesome stuff. Let's see, a big old honking worm. This is the Maximus by Excite Baits. How long is this thing? 10.5-inch trick worm, basically what it is. Can you say Carolina rig? Look at that some gun. So another thing I can get deep, so I'm kind of excited about that. Came with a 4/0 and a 5/0 big mouth light wire hook. So I can fish this on a little bit lighter line with a 5/0 hook. It's about average thickness of wire, but it's a Mustad big mouth light wire hook in red. And that's it. So I only have to catch 4 fish. Pretty cool. I'm going to tie these on a rod. Let's look and see what else is in here. Of course, you get your mystery tackle box sticker. You get your first box for $4.99 by typing in the code get $4.99. Pretty cool. The Dibble Digest. So what happens in the Dibble Digest? This is kind of new. This is like the 3rd month they've done it, or 2nd month they've done it. I think it's the 3rd. And you get it's got articles in it. One by Carl Von Dibble, usually pretty funny. This one teaches you about the Magic Swimmer. Pretty good article. I wonder who it's by. Oh, that's by Matt, one of the staff members, and he's a dang good fisherman. So that's that. You got some question and answer deals with Steve Parks. Steve Parks is the inventor of the Rage Tail products. He's actually an absolute amazing guy. I've had more than enough privileges to or chances to sit down with him and talk with him at ICAST and at the Bassmasters Classic. Him and I are really good friends. And what a genius, absolute genius when it comes to designing baits. He's got probably, I don't know, he's always got more designs in his on paper than Strike King will let him have put out. So pretty cool deal. Talks about the big worm, the Excite Baits worm. There's some ugly guy right there talking about fall fishing. Move fast and slow down. And then it talks about all the contests that Mystery Tackle Box is putting on. The MTB Slam product review contest, 10% off. Let's see, MTB swag, 10% off of MTB clothing by putting in the code MTB10. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So it's just a little magazine. Anyway, talk about that all day long. Let me get these things tied on some rods, and we'll go from there. Started to tie stuff on, and I have fish started schooling up around me, so I quickly tied on the 2 moving baits, the shad eye swim bait and the magic shad. So let me tell you what I tied them on. I tied this one on a medium heavy rod, mainly because it was the first rod in the boat or in my box, and I wanted to do it quickly. It's got 12-pound test line on it. It's a Duckett 6.6 medium heavy, so it should be plenty of rod to fight a fish and get a fish hooked on that thing. I tied the shad eye swim bait onto a heavy action, basically one of my jig rods, heavy action Ghost. It's got 20-pound tests on line. See how thick that hook is? And that's the biggest reason why I'm doing it, is I want to make sure I got enough oomph behind this this bait to get that hook penetrated good. So not a bad hook. Probably could use a little bit of sharpening. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. You see, I got them schooling here and I've got them schooling here. So I've got 2 different schools of fish blowing up. So let's cast around and see if I can catch something. All right, one thing you got to remember to do when you're trying to fish baits down at depth, in other words, not all the way to the bottom, but kind of a fishing for suspended fish. So these fish are between 10 and 15 feet deep. You really have to know the sink rate of your bait, okay? And there's 2 ways of doing it. You go to a known depth, 10 feet. I like to go to 10 feet if I don't have my fish finder, or go to take your rod, stick it down in the water, see how deep the water is. Anyway, you need to know how fast it falls per second. So what I do is I put it under my fish finder and I let it fall down to 10 feet. And it's 6 seconds it takes to get to 10 feet, okay? So, gives me an idea how fast it's gonna fall. And then you got to realize, in order to keep it at depth, you got to reel it really slow. And this bait wants to go slow anyway. When it goes a little fast, it tends to turn on its side a little bit. So I want to go at about 15 feet. And I start reeling really slow. All right, well, let me show you what I've got. I've got this Excite Baits worm tied onto. I've got it on a Carolina rig rod, and with a 1/2 ounce, yeah, that's a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight. And I've dipped it in clear JJ's Magic with some chartreuse tail. Got it on that 5/0 Mustad hook. 15-pound Iserline XXX copolymer. Medium heavy 7'3" Ducket Micro Magic and a Abu Garcia Pro Max reel. Really like this reel, really like the setup. This is my Carolina rig setup. I throw a Carolina rig most of the year anyway. The biggest thing about fishing big worms is don't be scared to throw them. Fish will eat this thing. I mean, even 2-pounders will eat this thing. And if you don't think you got big fish in the lake, throw this thing, because it'll weed out those little fish. A lot of times the little fish will be the ones that grab it and try to rip the rod out of your hand. They grab it and they run with it, and your rod all of a sudden just goes out just like that, and then they'll let go of it. But the big ones will get it and they'll just start swimming off with it, and you just hammer down on them because they love it. And this box, it looks like it's all about big baits or big fish baits. Go big or go home anyway. So really like this setup, and I ain't scared to throw a big worm. And it was years ago when I had my little bitty John boat. I spent an entire day, 16 hours, throwing a 14-inch worm, and didn't catch anything smaller than 4 pounds, I think. Didn't catch very many fish. Got my rod tip high because I'm running it across the top of some hydrilla or some submerged grass. It's the reason I'm fishing it so high. Helps me bring that weight up out of the grass a little bit easier, and I'll shake it as I bring the weight up. And once I'm out of that grass, I just drop my rod down and start dragging. This, I put the Rage Bug on a shaky head, and then I dip the little tentacles or the little claws in some methylate JJs, turns them orange. This is green pumpkin, and it turns the green pumpkin orange. Give you that little orange look on the claws. It's on a medium fast action Ducket Ghost. I've got a, I guess this is a Revo SC on here, and a 12-pound Bullbuster fishing line. It's a monofilament. It's a monofilament I'm testing out, and so far I really like it. So it's called, the company's called Bullbuster, dirt cheap stuff. I mean, it's, the guys, basically you're buying it directly from the manufacturer. So it's factory direct. So you're saving a ton of money. I think I'm getting a 1-pound spool for $15 or something. Pretty awesome. But just testing it out, so far so good. I've been fishing it for about 3 weeks now. So actually longer than that, about a month. Oh, this may be a big fish, guys. Oh yeah, the Rage Bug. See if I can get him to the boat. I'm gonna loosen my drag a little bit. He's a big fish. I'm telling you, these Rage Bugs are the deal. I put so many nice fish in a boat this year on. Stay buttoned. That's all I want. Dude, this is a big fish. 5-6 pounds maybe. Oh, it was worth the 12-mile run. Come on, stay buttoned. Big fish. Just gonna let him do his thing. Got him in the corner of the mouth. Look at that fish. Ooh. Oh man, he's been, man, look at that dog. Whoa, look at that fish. He's 4.5, maybe 5. On the Rage Bug. I ain't lying, guys. This is the real deal. I was able to fish this thing before it came out on the market, and I've loved it ever since I put it on a hook. Man, look at that fish. Oh gosh. I'm not stuck in the grass. I got a fish on. I'm stuck in the grass, but I think I got a fish on. Do I? Holy cow, yeah, I do. Guys, I thought I was stuck in the grass, but I guess I set the hook on a fish. Look at this. Yeah. Turn this down so you guys can see it. Look at this. Talking about bringing the meat in with a salad. Man. Look at that. Oh, not a bad little 2-pounder. Let me cut all that grass. That's only half of it. Well, they don't fight much when they're stuck in the grass. So anyway, caught that one on the shad eye swim bait from Skinny Bear. So a bad little fish. He was about probably, well, in the same area as that big one. They're kind of sitting out here in the middle of this pocket on the deeper grass, just eating whatever, I guess, because there's really no bait fish there here, and except for what's in the grass. So that's what I'm doing. I was swimming that thing over the grass and felt like I got hung, so I set the hook and tried to ripping it out, and it just got stuck in that grass. I don't know, kind of weird. Anyway, that's 2. See if I can catch 2 more. There's one. There's one. Come on back in here. Oh, he got all that. Look at this fish. I was on that magic shad. Oh, he's got a mouthful of hooks too. Be good to me, fish. Be good to me. Man. That's what I'm talking about. That's 3. All I gotta do is fish that big old worm the rest of the day. And I can do that. Look at that. Oh. That's all I gotta do is fish that big old worm the rest of the day. Well, I changed things up a little bit. I want you guys to see what I did. I'm gonna put it real close to the camera. Hopefully it'll focus in right. Put a big old split shot in front of my worm. Basically a big split shot rig. I'm fishing about 10 to 15 feet deep. Well, 8 to 15 feet deep really. And there's clumps of hydrilla down there, grass, and it's getting hung in the grass. And that half-ounce tungsten weight was just getting too deep in the grass, and I was having to rip it out, and I just didn't feel like I'd get a bite that way. So I changed it up. Let's see if that works. So now I'm fishing more on top of the grass. I think my line is swimming off. Big old worm, I never felt the bite. I think there's a fish on. Oh gosh, yeah there is. I didn't get a good hook set in him. Yeah, that's better. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good fish. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, baby. That son of a gun. Oh, he was hooked good too. That's a good hook for the most part. It's a wide gap. Look at that fish. 2.5. Good tournament fish. Not bad. All right, we'll let him go. Thank you, sir. And that, my friends, is the MTB Slam. All right, well, let's sit down, talk about how I fished them, basically how I caught them, and end this video. All right, well, just in case my my audio messed up on the last little bit because my battery was going dead. So let's recap what all went on. The first fish was that real nice 4-pounder, maybe 4.5 pound bass. I second cast with this shaky head and this rage bug. This is the Strike King structure bug, and so everybody calls it the rage bug. It's got a lot of little tentacles and stuff, a lot of action when it falls, but then when it gets on the bottom, it's real subtle. Great flipping bait. This is what like I said earlier, I went through over 100 of these in just a matter of 2 months, just flipping brush and flipping cover. And I mean, I caught the mess out of fish with them. So they're great baits. I put it on a little stand-up football shaky head with, it's kind of got a stiff wire hook or a thick wire hook on it. So I use 12-pound test. This is 12-pound Bullbuster monofilament. It's called Tenacity. You guys go check them out. They're a little bitty company out of Florida. They mostly cater to saltwater fishermen. So the smallest line they've got is 12-pound test. But you know, if you're using 12 to 20 like I do, you can't beat the prices. I mean, I got in fact, I've got a spool right here. Got 2 spools, but let's pull the 20 out. I got a brand new spool of 20-pound test Tenacity. You know, it's a half-pound spool. I think it was like $16 at $15, $16, $17. It wasn't much, but man, this will last me forever if I store it right. Just store it I put it up in the closet when I'm at home, or in my garage in a box just to keep it out of the light. This is 12-pound test, same deal. So go check them out. I'll put the link down in the description. Pretty cool little company I ran into while I was down in Florida. And they keep the prices down because the only place to get it is their website. They don't distribute to anybody, so it's all factory direct. Anyway, that was a big fish. I enjoyed it. The next one was on the Skinny Bear swim bait. I was just working it real slow on the top of the grass. Just, you know, like you do a swim bait, you throw it out and you just slowly reel it and just tick in the top of the grass, and that fish hammered it. But I wasn't really working it. I just kept the rod down and still and just slowly winding it. Now with these baits, any of the ones that had the soft plastics that have paddle tails, what I would do is I would open them up at home, boil you some water on the stove, dip the tail in it, you know, see how that tail isn't quite flat or level. That caused that bait at if I got any faster than really, really slow, it would cause that bait to turn to one side. So if I'd have been at home, I'd have dipped it in hot water and then laid it down on the table just like this, got it good and flat, and just let it cool off. And when it cooled, it would be flat, it'd be straight again. And that's what you want. You want it to be, the flat part of that tail to be pretty much level with the bait when it's hanging straight up and down. So, little tip. I put this on a heavy action Ducket Ghost. This is a 7-to-1 gear ratio Revo SX Generation 1. 20-pound test line, because that's my jig rod. Well, the next one was on the Sebile Magic Swimmer, golden blue. Same thing, I was just working it slow along the grass. They've been hitting real weird. It's been hard to tell whether they're biting. They've been kind of hitting it and running with the bait, so you stop feeling the bait. And this thing doesn't have a whole lot of vibration, so it was hard to feel the bait. Same thing, 12-pound test Tenacity, Bullbuster Tenacity. This is a Revo SC Generation 1. It was, I answer this question all the time. This is not one of those Revo rockets. This was made for Cabela's years ago. It was, and I got it from Cabela's. But anyway, heavy action or medium heavy action 6'6" Micro Magic rod, and then the Excite Baits 10.5-inch straight tail worm. Dipped it in some JJ's Magic. You know, clear JJ's Magic and then dip the tail in chartreuse. Put it on that hook, that owner hook. And then I was Carolina rigging it to start with, but just decided that I needed to fish on top of the grass a little bit better because the bass were kind of cruising along the clumps of grass. And so I basically split shotted it and put a split shot in it. And I don't know how big this split shot is, 1/8 of an ounce, I think. And threw it out there, let it sink down, and just slowly worked it through that grass. I mean, I found out that I got a good bite and missed one, painfully dragging it slow. So I did that again shortly thereafter. I caught that fish, about a 2.5 pounder. But that's the mystery tackle box. That's the MTB Slam. So once again, the new thing with with mystery tackle box is that you can change your subscription to either inshore or to ice fishing. And so for you guys up north who ice fish, man, you can get a box full of ice fishing tackle, which is pretty cool. I don't know what's going to be in it. I have no clue, but it'll be pretty neat. Inshore fishermen, guys down in Florida, you know, it's key time for inshore. You can go ahead and change it if you have a subscription. You go ahead and change that over to inshore. Pretty neat. Pick you up a mystery tackle box. Your very first one can be $4.99. I'll put the code right up here like I always do. Check out my other videos on this channel and on my next channel, or my other channel. It's the Flukemaster channel. And more importantly, take somebody fishing, introduce them to fishing, teach them how to fish, and show them my videos so I can help teach them how to fish. Man, I just want to teach everybody that I can. So you know, that's my goal. That has kind of become my mission, is to teach the world to fish. So have a great day and get out on the water, take what you've learned today, and go catch you some fish.